Imagine a modern superpower pointing its entire naval fleet at a smaller nation with a simple, terrifying demand. You must allow us to sell highly addictive, illegal drugs to your citizens or face total military destruction. In the 1830s, this was the official foreign policy of the British Empire. Behind the prestige of the Victorian era, the largest empire in history functioned as a state-sponsored drug cartel, willing to leverage its global military might to protect a single illicit revenue stream. The crisis began with a domestic obsession: tea. By the turn of the 19th century, tea was the lifeblood of British culture and commerce, and the only source for the highest quality leaves was China. But the Chinese emperor held all the leverage. He had no interest in British manufactured goods, demanding that every chest of tea be paid for exclusively in pure silver. This created a massive trade deficit. Britain was bleeding its treasury dry, shipping vast quantities of silver eastward, just to keep up with the national demand for a household beverage. Faced with economic collapse, the British government didn't attempt to curb the nation's appetite for tea. Instead, they engineered a dark and radical new way to get their silver back. The solution lay in the opium poppy. In the territories they controlled, the British began the industrial-scale cultivation of the highly addictive drug. British smugglers moved the opium into China in secret, selling it for the very silver the empire desperately needed. This silver was then used to buy tea, completing a closed, self-sustaining loop that kept the British economy thriving. But this economic brilliance came at a staggering human cost. Widespread addiction devastated millions of Chinese families, as farmers and soldiers alike spent their meager earnings on the drug. Britain had balanced its books by deliberately triggering a public health catastrophe in a foreign nation. As the social fabric of China began to unravel, the emperor appointed a strict official named Lin Zexu to end the crisis. Lin took decisive action, seizing over 2 million pounds of British opium and destroying it all in the ocean. The British government reacted with fury. Viewing the destruction of their illegal contraband as a violation of property rights, they dispatched their military to protect their investments. It was a technological slaughter. Britain's advanced metal steamships and heavy cannons easily decimated China's fleet of wooden sailing vessels. A legitimate effort to stop a smuggling ring was met with the full, ruthless weight of imperial warfare. With their coastal defenses shattered, China was forced to surrender. The resulting Treaty of Nanjing imposed humiliating terms. China was forced to pay millions in silver to compensate the British for the destroyed opium and cede the island of Hong Kong to the British Crown. Crucially, the treaty stripped China of its sovereignty, granting Britain the right to continue selling whatever goods it wanted to the Chinese people. The Opium Wars revealed the lengths to which powerful empires will go to protect their profits, using military force to transform a humanitarian disaster into a lucrative business model.